Shalom, peace and blessings. Welcome to the Fourth Angels Learning Center. Today is going to kind of be an in-depth study, so we're going to try to keep this one slow. We're not going to try to move too quick because I want everybody to grasp what's being said. Now, this topic has been kind of thrown around. We're going to be talking about the understanding of who the sons of Elohim are from Genesis chapter 6. Now, I'm going to give you my perspective, and then I'm gonna show why I have that perspective. All right, so let's get right to it. We're gonna look at Genesis chapter 6. So let me share my screen. All right, so let's look at this. Genesis chapter 6. It talks about the sons of Elohim in verse 2, right? So it says, and it came to pass, and it says, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and it says, and the daughters were born unto them, says that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose, right? So this is what many people are taking. Many people go back to, the book of Enoch, and they say Enoch said that the giants came from angels and men. So let me show you I'm going to show you the contradiction that kind of discredits Enoch within these verses. If you look at verse 3 and 4 and 5, you'll see the specifics as to who Yah is referring to. So it says here, the sons of God saw the daughters of men. The sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair or beautiful, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Now, they took them wives. Wives means that they married them, okay? In the book of Enoch, it shows that they were basically used to bear children, and then they turned into what the book of Enoch refers to as sirens or mermaids. So let's continue to look at this. He took them wives, and then it says, and Yahuwah said, my spirit shall not strive with man. So the sons of God took the daughters, and he says, my heart shall not strive with man, for that he is also flesh. His days shall be 120 years. It says, there were giants. Now watch this. There were giants in the earth in those days. And after that, when the sons of Elohim came to the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. So look at what it says. That there was giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. The book of Enoch teaches that there's only giants after they mingled with the daughters of men. The scriptures is clearly teaching that there were giants or tall men, large men, before the sons of Elohim mingled with the daughters of men. And then look at what they produced. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown or famous men. Now, we have this comic book mindset, like angels came down, turned into men, and then procreated with women and produced more men. These are things that is not scriptural. It's not scriptural. This is not what's going on here in Genesis chapter 6. Messiah is having an issue with mankind. Mankind. An angel and a woman wouldn't produce a man. It can't. It's like a dog and a woman producing a man. It can't happen. So if we look at the context, is like the sons of Elohim and the daughters of men were producing famous men that were promoting wickedness. It says here in verse 5, Elohim saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continuously. It says that it grieved Yahuwah that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. So there's this constant aspect of him dealing with man, not dealing with angels or dealing with some half breed. He's dealing with mankind. Verse 7, Yahuwah said, I will destroy man, whom I have created. You see that? Man whom I have created, not man whom was a breed of angels and women, man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, fowls of the air, and it grieved me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuwah. This is very clear. From verse 1 to verse 8, there's this constant emphasis that Yah is dealing with man and what man has done. We're about to get into what man has actually done. So that way we can see that the terminology of son of Elohim, it goes for the righteous men. And the term daughters of men go for wicked men, wicked lineage. So let's go back so I can show you the genealogies, right? How do we get to the sons of Elohim and the daughters of men? Let's go back. In chapter 5, you have the lineage of Adam, not Adam through Cain, because Cain's lineage would be the lineage of Adam as well. But this is Adam's lineage according to righteousness. Chapter 4 now, when Cain kills his brother, in the middle of this chapter, it starts to go into the lineage of Cain. Let's check this out. Genesis chapter 4. We're going to look at verse 17. And it says here, 16, it says, Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah and dwelt in the land of Nod in the east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch, and he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. Verse 18 starts going into Enoch was born Irad. Irad begat Mahuhael. Mahuhael begat Methusael. Methusael begat Lamech. And it says Lamech took to him 2 wives. This is the first instance in multiple wives. He took to himself 2 wives, and the name of one was Adah, and the name of the other was Zelah. Adah bore him a son called Jabal. He was the father of such as dwelt in tents and that had cattle, or cattle breeders. The brother's name was Jubal, so it's Jabal and Jubal. He was the father of such that handled the harp and the organ. Zillah also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. Now, this is before the sons of Elohim mingle with the daughters of men. I just want to make a side note to all those who have read the book of Enoch. It would tell you that the workers of iron, that some angel came down during the time of Noah and taught men how to make instruments and weapons from metals. This is before Noah. This is before that. And it shows that the wicked line of Cain bore a person that was very familiar with weaponry using metal such as brass and iron. So I want to be clear. It says the sister of Bull Cain was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, so basically this is all the lineage, and this is how the lineage of Cain continues to grow. Then it says in verse 25 that Adam knew his wife again and bore a son, called his name Seth. And Elohim said, he have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And Seth, and now watch this, verse 26. To him also he born a son, and he called his name Enos. And then began men to call on the name of Yahuwah. What does this mean? This means that Cain's line did not call on the name of Yahuwah, but Adam's line through Seth and his grandson Enos called on the name of Yah, meaning that they obeyed, they followed him, and they did what he desired. Chapter 5 goes into the generations of Adam. If you go down to verse 3, it goes into the lineage of Adam, starting with Seth now instead of Cain. And it goes from Cain, and it says in verse 6 that he begat Enos, and in verse 7 that Enos was 807 years, and then he begat sons and daughters, and then it continued to go down a righteous line to Methuselah. You have Enoch mentioned here that walk with Yah. You have Jared, you have Methuselah, and then all the way down to Noah. So this is the righteous line. Chapter 4, we have Cain's line, and then at the end of chapter 4, we have Adam's line was the line that called on the name of Yah. This is very important because now we have two lines of two genealogies. One is wicked and one is righteous. Now, what's the principle that Yah teaches us in the Torah pertaining to our children marrying children of other nations? You're not supposed to give your daughter or your sons to any wicked person, even if they are inside the same nation. Even if they're in the same nation. Yah rebuked Jehoshaphat for allowing his son to marry Ahab's daughter, even though they were all bloodline related to Israel. They were all Israelites. So this is very important for us to grasp. Two lineages that are not supposed to mix. Even according to Torah, it teaches that wicked line and a righteous line should not mix. So this is chapter 4. Chapter 4 goes into the lineage of Cain. Chapter 5 goes into the righteous lineage of Adam. Now, when we get to chapter 6, we have this term, the sons of Elohim, marrying the daughters of men. I'm going to show that these two terms are for the righteous, and one is just created beings. Like a created person is just a man, but a created person who is a child of Yah is called a son or daughter of Yah. You know, this is very important for us to get in the scripture. So we see these two terminologies, the sons of Elohim and the daughters of men, after we went through these two lineages, one a wicked one and a righteous one. But let me first show that the righteous ones are referred to as sons of Elohim. Luke chapter 3, looking at verse 38, makes it very plain. This is the righteous lineage in chapter 3 that goes all the way down to Messiah. Righteous lineage going all the way down to Messiah. And it starts by saying, at the end of it, it goes backwards all the way to Adam. And look what it says. It says, which was the son of Enos, right? Which was the son of Seth. And Seth was the son of Adam, which was the son of Elohim. So Adam was the son of Elohim, and this is the beginning of the righteous line. Adam, Seth, Enos. And remember what it says in Genesis chapter 4, verse 25. I'm sorry, verse 26. And to Seth, to him also he bore a son, and he called his name Enos, and then began men to call upon the name of Yahuwah. So very clear. This is why Adam is referred to as the son of Elohim. The next one is Seth, and then Enos, and they began to call on the name of Yah as the generations continued. Canaan, Jared, Methuselah, Lamech, Shem, Noah. You see that? All righteous line. Look at the interesting thing. It mentions Shem. It doesn't mention Ham. It doesn't mention Japheth. It mentions Shem. This is taking us all the way down the righteous line, all the way down to Messiah. So this is very important for us to grasp. Son of Elohim in Genesis is referring to the line of Adam, right? Now, Now we're going to deal with the terminology. There's a term that many people use or many people emphasize on in regards to labeling the giants, and they call them the Nephilim, right? They say Nephilim. So we're going to analyze this terminology here. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 6. So Genesis chapter 6 talks about, of course, the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, and he took them wives, whichever one they chose. It says that there were giants in the earth in those days. And I already showed you, it says, and also after that. Enoch does not reveal that. Enoch says that there was only giants after the sons of Elohim went into the daughters of men, or angels went into the daughters of men. But it's saying that there were already giants there. These giants, they say that these giants, the term here is Nephilim, which means fallen ones, right? H5303, Nephil, the faller, right? Tyrant, bully, giant, not angel, but tyrant, bully. Look at what it says here: to fall, right? To be cast down, right? To die, to be overthrown. So these were fallen ones in the earth. It's already showing or manifesting their wickedness. It's not showing that they were cast down out of heaven or falling from heaven. Matter of fact, the book of Enoch teaches that they didn't fall from heaven, nor were they cast out of heaven, that they made a pact amongst one another, and they decided of their own accord to come down and do what it says, mingle their seed with, or first create a seed and then mingle it with women and then create men or giants. So we clearly see right now that Yah is dealing with mankind, and I want to give that emphasis here in verse 7. I will destroy man whom I have created, not man whom angels and women created, man whom I created. Not only men, beasts, creeping thing, fowls of the air. It doesn't mention anything about any type of hybrid. So we have to make sure we understand this very clearly. He was grieved that he made man on the earth because of what man was doing. He says Elohim saw the wickedness of man was great on the earth. Okay? So with this understanding, the Nephal, the Nephilim, or the Nephal, the giants, or what we refer to as the fallen ones, is referring to the sons of Elohim, or Yah's people, reverting to wickedness, marrying the daughters of Cain, and applying or following after their wicked practices. This is why there was no righteous ones left. All of the righteous mingled themselves with the unrighteous women of Cain. And this is why there was no righteous line except for 8 people. 8 people left. So Nephal, let me show you a few verses that you see this word Nephilim, Nephilim or Nephilim, which is a multiple fallen ones, so one people who are fallen in scripture. Let's take a look at the prophet Ezekiel, looking at verse 32. See a little bit about the context. Verse 22, look at what it says. It says, Asher is there, and all her company. His graves are round about him, all of them slain, fallen by the sword. Let's see what that word fallen is. That word fallen is 5307, which we saw was the root word nafal. Nafal. In the Masoretic text, it is Nephilim. Nephilim. This is referring to men who died. Let's look at another verse. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. It's talking about an inanimate object. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, meaning to be destroyed. That word is nafal. It's actually naphalim. Naphalim. So this is very important for us to get that the word naphalim is being used throughout scripture. The root word is being used throughout scripture to refer to things being either destroyed, being things dying, things being falling away from Yah. Look at what it says here. Proverbs chapter 11, looking at verse 14. And it says, where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety or victory, deliverance, right? So the word fall is Nephilim, the people Nephilim. So if a person falls, or if people fall, whether it be through sin or whether it be through war or death, it is referred to, the Hebrew word for that is Nephilim. Okay, so the idea that the giants are called the Nephilim is not scriptural at all. The word Nephilim is referring to those who are fallen from righteousness, those who are fallen from life, those who are in death, those who are in the grave, those who are fallen to the sword. It's talking about even cities that has fallen. The tabernacle of David fallen is referring to that as a using the term Nephilim for the tabernacle falling or breaking down or being burnt down or destroyed. So when we're looking at the giants, what have they fallen from? It's clear that they have fallen from righteousness, right? And we have scripture that talks about falling from grace and things like that. So let's look at I wanted to show the use of, you know, the phrase that we see here. Let me show you, and then let me show you the use of it. Genesis 6, where it talks about the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, showing a difference between the men of the world and the sons of Elohim. Even though the sons of Elohim are men, they were not considered like men of the world. They were different types of men. This is the same situation now. Yah's people is not considered the same as the worldly men. So let's look at this scripture real quick. Psalms chapter 82. And please consider everything that I showed in contradiction to Enoch. Now, I'm not trying to support Enoch. I'm trying to show the contradictions. I'm trying to show exactly what Genesis is referring to instead of. So I want you guys to understand that I'm not. There's no connection here with the book of Enoch and angels coming down with women. So look at this. Psalms 82. Look at what it says here. It says, I have said you are Elohim, and all of you are children of the Most High. So the children of Most High are the children of Elohim, the sons and daughters of Elohim, right? But you shall die like men. This is a contrast, and fall like one of the princes, like one of the rulers of the earth. Fall like one of the rulers. That word is nafal. It's the root word of where we get nephilim, nephil. So it says here, you shall die like men. So the sons of Elohim and the daughters of Elohim will die like men and fall like one of the rulers. Why? Why would they do that? Look at what it says before that. Verse 2, how long will you judge unjustly? See that? Unrighteousness. And accept the persons of the wicked. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said you are Elohim, and all of you are supposed to be the children of the Most High, but you shall die like men. See the difference between the sons and daughters of Elohim and men and rulers of this world? It says, "Arise, O Elohim, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all nations." So this is this is one verse. There's plenty of verses that show difference between the standard that Yah has for his people and then the world. The world, these are men and women of the world. But when you follow Yah, you are a new creature. You are the sons and daughters of Yah. When you receive the Ruach, you are the children of the Most High. You cannot be the child of the Most High without the Spirit. And let me show you this. Let me just confirm that statement. I don't want to make any claims, especially absolute claims, without showing a verse. Look at Romans 8, look at verse 14. As many as are led by the Spirit of Elohim, they are the sons of Elohim. Right? John chapter 1, looking at here, verse 12. As many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim, even to them that believe on his name. And one last one where it says here clearly, Hebrews chapter 1, verse 5, unto which of the angels said he at any time, you are my son, this day I have begotten thee, and again I will be to him a father, he shall be to me a son. Look at what it says in verse 7 and 8. Of the angels, he said, who makes his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire? But unto the Son, your throne, O Elohim, is forever and ever, a scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. Very clearly. And not only for him, the Son, but it's also talking about the other sons. Look at what it says here. You have loved righteousness, hated iniquity. Therefore, Elohim, even your Elohim, hath anointed you with the oil of gladness above your fellows. So you see the Son, and now you have the sons and daughters that are joint heirs with him. But he is anointed above us. Even though we are anointed, he is anointed above us. He is our king. But angels are ministers of flame of fire. They are not sons of Elohim. It says here, to which of the angels he said at any time, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? This is what angels are. So it's very clear. When you go to Genesis, you'll see the two lineages, chapter 4 and 5. It shows Cain's lineage, and then it shows the lineage that called on the name of Yah. Luke chapter 3, verse 38, it says Adam is the son of Elohim. Everyone else after that is referred to as the lineage of the sons of Elohim, the children of Elohim. The children of Elohim in verse 6, chapter 6, mingled with the daughters of Cain, which is why there was no righteous people on the earth when judgment came. It was only 8 people, the family of Noah. Now, when you look at that, it shows that Yah had an issue with man. He grieved that he made man. And then it said that he will destroy man whom he created. The angels and women, Yah is not involved in that creation. Yah did not create angels mingling with mankind. That's why it's called mankind, because man can only procreate with mankind. Angels can't turn into man because angels were not created to be man at all. They may come in a form of man, they may come in the image of man, or whatever it may be. But an angel is not a man. That's just the bottom line. An angel, the cherubim or seraphim is not a man. They can't change their it says that the angels can't change their molecular makeup to become a man, a created being with procreating things in his body, to procreate with women, to produce 900 feet tall giants. So I hope that this is clear, the simplicity of the scripture going from one chapter to the other in context. and bouncing and looking at the term son of Elohim, especially looking in the book of Hebrews, seeing at what time, at what point in time did Yah say to the angels, "You're my son"? At what point in time? There's no point in time in Scripture where He says, "You are my son." So He created them to be a certain type of creation, and that's what they are: ministers of fire, ministering to help those who are heirs to salvation. This is what it says. That's why their creation is given the title Malakim, which is the Hebrew word for messengers, because it is their duty to deliver the message to us, to allow us, to help us move towards salvation. So I hope that this was clear. I hope that this was a blessing. If you have any more questions, please feel free to send us an email. Peace and blessings. Shalom, shalom. Thank you guys for joining our study today. I hope that it was edifying. And if you want to support this ministry, you can support us on 4alc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube page. Click the like button and the notification bell. I hope to see you guys on the next study. Shalom, guys.